going on, guys? My name is Doug. Welcome back to another video. Welcome to the channel if you're new. I'm very excited that you guys decided to stop by today. Stop by today, as we are going to be listening to Run the Jewels 4. Very excited. You know, what can I say? Their production is always on point. Their lyricism is great. They always bring power and energy, and I'm just very excited to be listening to it. So yeah, I know it's been a little bit since my last video, a couple days. You know, life is happening, and it's a little tough to sit down and record with so many things going on in the world, but also at home, you know, personally. So I made it to this video, thank God. And you guys got the channel to 16,000 subscribers, which I could not be more appreciative of you guys for. I want to say huge shout out to the patrons and the members of this channel. They are absolutely the main reason why I'm able to make these videos as often as I do, and as high quality as I make them. They help me to get equipment. They help me to fund new and better segments and series on the channel that I want to implement, and things like that. They're the reason that I get to keep putting y'all on free, you know, to enter, things like that. And I'm planning on adding a whole lot more rewards for patrons, a playlist with, well, the playlist that I always mention in my videos, a later actual announcement coming soon on that, eventually exclusive videos. Anyways, just trying to make the patrons and the members really feel like their support is worthwhile, and trying to make those rewards better. So if you feel like you would like to support that way, be sure to check out those tiers, see if it's worth your while. Know that I'm always working on those tiers, and the more patrons we get, the better the rewards actually get. And yeah, I would just really appreciate it if some of you guys could consider that. And those of you that can't, I know times are tough right now, you can always support by subscribing, sharing these videos, liking them, commenting down below. 16,000 subscribers is huge for me. So yeah, I'm ecstatic, I'm elated, and you guys, you know, you just blow my mind with the support that you show to the channel. So I just wanted to get that out of the way, and we're gonna jump into Run the Jewels 4. The first track is Yankee and the Brave, episode 4. Oh my God. There's LP. Man, the flow is crazy. The little synths, super nice. Yeah, man, watching them trade off, you know, verses is absolutely insane. Killer Mike and LP have such great chemistry on this track. The production is absolutely insane. It's chaotic, and it's in your face, and it's very loud and abrasive. And just hearing them play off of each other on such creative and energetic production, really bringing it with their verses, bringing that emphasis, bringing that energy, bringing that powerful performance, really is just awesome. It's a great way to start us off, man. Next track is Ooh La La.
Ooh la la, ah wee wee. Ooh la la, ooh la la, ah wee wee. You gon' hold the egg, wait to bring the check. When we fuck, we collect the car. Since greetings, the feeding season can start. Oh my God.
Wow, the flow is crazy, dude.
Horses on the handtail, switch your ball like a bitch and dog. Oh, dirty bastard, go in your jaw.
Not a huge fan of this hook. Production's crazy as always. Yeah, man, again, very energetic second track. A very strange hook, in my opinion. That ooh la la ah wee wee is kind of strange, but I guess, you know, they make it work, I guess. Like, it doesn't bother me enough to where I would skip this track. They again bring very solid verses, a very bouncy beat, again very in your face, really nice little piano loop. It's I guess it's, if I had to criticize it, I could say it's a little dull. That piano loop, it could be a little better, but I mean, I'm not gonna, you know, nitpick at it. It's a very, very nice track. Track 3 is Out of Sight featuring 2 Chainz. Let's go.
What kind of medicine is sobriety? Like what? Super pretty isn't us. With a brush, see you cutting up a pie. That's my lunch. Never ready, baby boy, baby, moving extra heavy, really shitty. Tony's just a fucking. I mind at a touch at across that line.
LP is a beast, dude. Oh my god. A little strange to hear 2 Chainz on this style of beat, but I like the beat. I think it's very energetic. It's got a really great like dun 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 dun. Really got like that bounce to it because of that main sample chop. LP and Killer Mike playing off of each other brilliantly. Killer flows, great verses, killer performances. I don't normally catch a whole lot lyrically, on the first listen or even on the first few listens. It takes multiple listens to really get what they're saying lyrically, especially with a group as lyrical as Run the Jewels. But I think that this track is got crazy energy to it and a really hectic kind of sound. I like it. This is hard.
Can't get the ghost up, no resistance. Say it though, I get spooked. The multiverse lives, I'm supposed to just lose.
Yeah, that second beat for sure is my favorite on this track. I like that they went a little bit more of a trap route with it. It allowed them to really slow down their verses a little bit and focus on what they were saying and how they were saying it, and not necessarily trying to speed up their verses to keep up with the beat and so on and so forth. I dig the aggression. The first part of this beat, I will say, wasn't really for me, but after that beat switch up, things really pick up, in my opinion. Goonies versus E.T.
If I'm making up the worst, both dick. Shooting the Cadillac, I had to track L's on the quick. Dip them up, slick, talking no tricks. Living in the valley of flames, like I win. Skyline of blaze and a bomb rock trick. Baby living in a one chance lot, so I stick to the R. Oh my god, running through dead soul, hope it don't crash. In the song, motherfucker, bring it up fast. Ain't no revolution is televised and digitized. You can hypnotize and Twitter rhymes for silly guys. Use to the east, makes you face to the nation. Told you to identify. Take false pride for offense, cause we've been villainized. Talk to the dirt of the earth, we still gonna ride.
Yo, Killer Mike on that last verse was just going insane, dude. Firstly, his flow is epic, but seriously, the lyricism there, the actual rhyme schemes that he was using, what he was saying in general was just like so powerful, so fitting for the moment. And over such chaotic production, such a unique and powerful production, I think that this track is great. I like that breakdown with the little drum break, not the part of the beat that's necessarily hyper focused on the bass line, but the one where they have that little filtered drum break. That's my favorite part. Walking in the snow.
Get a dose of dirty cold to go. Be cold, it's cold flow. Cloudy got a year 10 to go, so let's go. I don't really know how to go slow. Hey, when the wrong mode, you open and close, holes, no go.
Motherfucker cold, just got done walking in the snow. Goddamn that motherfucker cold.
Choke out a man like me.
Oh man.
My voice go to whisper, I can't breathe. And you sit there in house on couch and watch Rudy and Travesty. You've been robbing your empathy. Replaced with
Wow.
apathy. I'll future so then you can face it and see how fucked up it'll be.
Killer Mike is a GOAT, dude. Seriously, like, when are people gonna start really acknowledging this? I rarely see him on people's, like top 10s. They seriously, I would say they criminally underrate him. That track might be the best one off this project so far, solely based on that verse from Killer Mike and how relevant that is and how powerful and awakening that is. That's like the equivalent of Killer Mike just grabbing you and just like shaking you. You know what I mean? That's gotta be the best track off the project so far. Definitely my favorite verse, for sure. That might be one of my favorite verses all year, purely because of the relevance, it's crazy. Like I said, not enough positive words for that track. From the production to the lyrics to, song structure, the beat switch up, catchy little hook. Gotta love it. Next track is Just.
Yourself from scholars, right? Mastered academics, cause your grace and you was.
Look at all these slave masters posing on your dollar. Look at all
I've been in time, I'm on mine, I be minding mine. Every time they want a dozen dime. the pity kind. I kill you, I know I didn't get it.
The vocals,
I get no 2 minutes.
those little Pharrell vocals, come on.
I'm on home, you might run your luck out. Just when your base is loaded, they'll roll a grenade in the dugout. I don't think we'll be left with too much. Hand on my heart, on my mind, on my drugs, got a vodka up. Lord, sweet.
Something about the way LP flows on a track, man. Yeah, I had never really heard of Zach De La Rocha. Forgive me if he's like a legend and I just have no idea. I honestly had never heard of him, but I dig his participation on this track. A whole lot of energy, you know, that's really one of the words that keeps coming up in this video. But that's because, like I said at the very beginning, Run the Jewels always brings that energy. You know, they make music that could give you the energy that you need to like rob a bank single-handedly, you know, break the deadlift record in the world listening to this music. I mean, you could run through brick walls and I don't know, jump over mountains and fly through the sky listening to this stuff, because it's just like, it hypes you up to that level where you're just like, let's go, you know? And having Zach De La Rocha screaming in the background, giving us very emphatic vocals with that distortion over it, just really adds to that. Pharrell and his very subtle vocals in the background, I don't know if he had any production credits on here, I'm assuming he did. But those little vocal chops in there, you know, they're super sweet, they're very catchy, they're nice little accents to the track. And then of course, you know, Run the Jewels kill their verses. LP and his flow is just like, sometimes when he just finds that groove and he gets into his zone, he's unstoppable. And Killer Mike is just a beast as always. Never Look Back is track 8.
81 miles to the outbound road. Never look back, never ever out of the drones. Oh no, no one is supposed to have another pack go.
I'm dumb, but I kept it because I keep it 100. Made a meal that for real ain't a damn thing funny.
I mean, it's interesting to listen to, that's for sure.
Never look,
I wouldn't say that it's like fun.
never look. Get better, you will never get better. Never get better, then you never get bigger. Never get bigger.
Yeah, that never look back, you will only get bitter. If you get bitter, then you'll never get better. If you never get better, then you'll never get bigger. And if you never get bigger, then you never make cheddar. Life advice from Killer Mike right there, man. Like, if you follow that philosophy throughout your entire life, you should be set. Yeah, like I was saying, this production is definitely interesting. It's something that's going to challenge you a little bit. Not very conventional bass lines, not very conventional melodies going on. I mean, if you listen to Death Grips and JPEG Mafia, this is going to be like, yeah, whatever for you. But if you're the more casual listener like I am, this is going to challenge you a little bit. It's not necessarily going to be very pleasant or very fun to listen to at first, but definitely energetic, definitely something that's going to be in your face and it's going to grab your attention. It's very gripping. Yeah, so I think that those are the positives for this track. The Ground Below is track 9. This is what I'm talking about. These heavy guitars are crazy, dude. In the words of the legendary Big Quint, listening to this track, I could rob a bank with a straw. And for those of you wondering, he said that when he heard Piss on Your Grave by Travis Scott on Rodeo. One of the best reactions, dude.
I'm guessing I'ma be okay.
This is a strong hook. I like this one. Yeah, I love the heavy guitars on there, the distortion, the powerful production. Super into that. Definitely a little bit more straightforward than some of the more experimental tracks that we've gotten so far on this project. I like how strong the hook is. I think it's fairly easy to learn. I think it's going to be fun when they perform it live. It's going to be one of those songs that really gets stuck in your head, and those really loud drums are just super fun to bounce to and move to. And of course, I mean, needless to say, their verses, like I said, I don't catch so much lyrically on my first few listens. But needless to say, from what I did catch, they're great, and they're very woke, and they're calling people to arms, and they're calling people to seek justice and look for the truth, as they tend to do. Very educational, very aggressive at the same time, very hard rappers at the same time, which is such a nice vibe from them. It's such a nice juxtaposition in their music. You could learn something and thrash at the same time, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's cool. Pulling the Pin, track 10. Yeah, check this out. You hear those motorcycles? I'm recording this video So I probably started around 12:20 a.m. After midnight. I started recording. I figured I would keep the volume low enough to not bother the neighbors so much. I'm speaking in kind of a lower tone because I don't want to be too loud. Because normally at this time, you can expect the neighbor's dog not to bark and cars not to be making so much noise in the streets because I live right next to a really busy intersection. These motorcycles are going by loud as ever at like almost 1 a.m., dude. Only in Brazil. Yeah, just no respect at all for how can I say this? For like silence, late night silence hours. No respect whatsoever. Yeah, pull in the pin. I'm digging these triplet hi-hats. They're very bouncy.
To the swine king of violators. The cloven foot design is a high crime for the Iron Ages. Think the influence of fate. But what a wretched state of danger we think.
The way he performs his verses is so masterful.
Difficult, but when you beautiful, then every day's like a satanic ritual. Beautiful soul with the demons collecting the gold and the diamond residuals. My pastor say God is promised.
Yeah, very interesting bounce due to those triplet hi-hats. Really nice, strong chorus, crazy guitar playing in the background. I mean, they rip their verses, you know. I think they have some choirs in the background. Just a very interesting sound, very heavily layered. An epic song, to say the least. Very cinematic production. I thoroughly enjoyed that one. The last track is a few words for the firing squad.
Being sane have never really been the same. I used to want to get the chance to show them
Insane. It's triple lean, make you wanna lean. I'm a cup up from Nipsey. It's like a rapper fiend.
Oof.
Friends tell her he could be another Malcolm, he could be another Martin. For the boys whose body hung from a tree like a piece of straight fruit. Go home.
That's insane, dude. What a way to close it out. Oh man, these instrumentals are nuts. Yankee and the Brave, oh, so it restarts. That's interesting. That's very interesting. The fact that they close out saying Yankee and the Brave, kind of restarting the entire album, bringing it full circle. Talk about a closer. You know, talk about bringing your album together to a very solid conclusion. It's not a very long album. It's 11 tracks long. One of the better albums of the year. Very crazy production. Very awesome, powerful imagery and lyricism, calls to action to fight against injustices. This last track where he was talking about how his wife's friends tell her that Killer Mike could be another Malcolm or another Dr. King. And she's saying that she needs a husband more than the world needs another martyr. Things like this that go on in their heads and things that they have to live through are just so interesting when told from their perspectives. And when they lay it out like that on a track, it just sheds new light on this whole situation where you're like, man, is there something to this that I'm not seeing? Is there a position to this that I personally have not heard? And that's something that's healthy for everybody, is to seek out those things that you do not know. And so just always hearing Killer Mike and LP bring their experiences together on these tracks is just so nice. They always bring it. And even if you're not necessarily here solely for the lyrics, and you're here just to go crazy and to vibe to their energy, to their very chaotic, hectic energy, you can do that too. It's a really great project for that as well. The production is very experimental at some points, but always very energetic and very well done. Very well put together project. Yeah, those are my thoughts on it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Forgive me if I seem like I'm low energy. I'm not. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like I said, I'm just speaking a little lower because it is kind of late right now. And I'm trying not to disturb the neighbors. The timing there just could not be better. But yeah, very heavily enjoyed this project. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Support the channel however you see fit. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you so much for 16K. I will see you guys in another video very soon. Until then, stay safe. Peace out.